Um, Tulsa, Oklahoma was the oil capital of the world in 1921. And the land in eastern Oklahoma had been divided in the 19th century between Native and African American people before the petroleum and natural gas was discovered. So you hear the stories of Black Wall Street, and it's not like any other Black community in the nation, because in addition to the wealth from the land, agricultural wealth from the land, from cattle, from orchards, from crops, the people on the land discovered they had natural gas and petroleum, and that's a second line of income. And the oil men of America who flocked to Indian Territory from Pennsylvania, from New York, to make money off the oil were busy taking this land or the profits from the land from Black people as much as they could. But Black people needed a place to spend this money, and they spent it in the Black section of Tulsa known as Greenwood. Last week I met the son of the great-grandson of the man who owned the 56-room hotel in Greenwood. And Greenwood was a bustling Black community with oil leasing offices, professional offices, furniture stores, jewelry stores, and it was quite unique. There were other communities that were wealthy as well, but this was an oil and gas based wealth. As in many cases in 1919 and before, a Black man can be accused of attacking a white woman, and that's an excuse enough to destroy a Black community. And so that's what happened in Tulsa in 1921. In the course of 24 hours, this prosperous Black community was reduced to rubble. People's businesses and homes were looted by white mobs. People were machine gunned down in the streets. We went into that in great detail last year. We had my grandfather's eyewitness account. My grandfather had just moved to Tulsa from another part of Oklahoma in February of 1921. And he talks about hearing the planes dropping these turpentine bombs, seeing people shot in front of his eyes as the community was destroyed. And these white men and their sons who routed the people out of their homes and businesses, stole their cameras, pianos, furniture, jewelry, the children's piggy banks, then set fire to the houses by putting the curtains on fire. So the communities are destroyed in 24 hours. And we discussed that at length last year, and I had hoped that this year we would reflect on the challenge of rebuilding Tulsa, because the insurance companies refused to honor the insurance policies of the homeowners and of the business owners. And we have this classic image of my grandfather and his law partner and their temporary secretary processing insurance claims in a Red Cross tent, June 6th. This occurred May 31st and June 1st. So it's ironic that when 45 cleared that Lafayette Square a couple of years ago, it was June 1st. And this new massacre also occurred on June 1st, 2022. One of the things that I noticed in 1921 is that the Klan built their first clavern, their meeting place, on the hill overlooking the Black community in January 1922. So if we look back 100 years, we're looking at the rise of the Klan, not just in Tulsa, but in other parts of the country.
Give us the estimate of the numbers of people that were killed in 1921. I think it was over 300.
Yes, we're unfortunately in the process of excavating the various cemeteries, private and public, looking for mass graves for some of those victims. This has begun in the first term of the current mayor, G.T. Bynum, and is continuing now with citizen observers and an entire forensic team looking for these human remains.